Hello everyone, in this set of videos we'll solve the actual questions which has come in the CAT 2020 paper specific to the math or the quant section of the given slot 2. At the same time, students who are looking forward for joining the fresh batches for the CAT online preparation can log into the portal of MBAP Education main website where you will see all the content and the courses which is being curated by top IIM faculties themselves who will be training you on the live sessions too. All the sessions and the programs have been made by us who have consistently cracked CAT and the other examination with more than 99 percentile. And from this Monday onwards, we are starting with live batches. So students who are looking forward for joining the live courses can contact us on the given numbers which you can see on the screen so that we can help you out with the right mentorship for the given program. Okay. On this note, let's take the first question. Let's take the question. Well, this is time, speed, and distance question. The question says, in a car race, car A beats B by 45 km, B beats C by 50 km, and A beats C by 90 km. The distance over which the race has been conducted is how much? Okay. So the question deals with A beating B, B beating C, and A beating C. So B somewhere is common. So let's first assume the overall distance which I have to cover in the overall race is X kilometer. If I go with the first instance, we can assume when A completed the race, when A is on X kilometer. Let's have a look at the next question. It's a very beautiful question. I'm sure all of you will love it while solving the question. Read the question well. The question says, from the interior point of an equilateral triangle, the perpendiculars are drawn on all the three sides. The perpendiculars are drawn on all the three sides. The sum of length of the perpendicular is S. The sum of the length of all the perpendiculars is S. The area of the triangle in terms of S has been asked. Okay. Now let me give you an instance. Let's say my interior point could be here. I repeat, my interior point could basically be here. So from here, I can make a perpendicular here. I can make a perpendicular here, and I can also make a perpendicular here. Right? So my sum of length of all the perpendiculars will be, let's say, A, B, and C. Now this is a very imaginary point. As per my convenience, I have plotted this. There could also be a point here where the perpendicular then here would be this, and this. Now you guys can relate on the base, and again the length will be A, B, and C. On the basis of this imaginary point, I repeat, on the basis of this imaginary point, you basically will see the length of A, B, and C would keep on differing. Okay, the length of A, B, and C will keep on. The upper I go, I repeat, if the point was here, this would have been A, this would have been, and this whole would have been C. Right? But the overall length, possibly the sum of A, B, and now let's take an easy question. This is question number 3, came in the year of CAT 2020 slot 2. Read the question well. The question says, in a group of 10 students, the mean of the 9 students, the lowest 9 student score mean is 42, while the mean of the highest 9 scorers is 47. So bottom 9 and the topmost 9, the scores of mean has been given to you as 42 and 45. For the mean of the entire group of 10 students, what is the maximum possible deviation with the two of the given sets is the question that they are asking you. The first set is where the lowest 9 scores mean is given to you as 42, and the set 2 is where the highest 9 scores mean has been given to you as 47. So they are saying there are 10 numbers, right? Let's make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Let's take case number 1. In my case number 1, I want the lowest 9 to be on 42. Let's assume the first 9 itself is on 42. Let's assume the first 9, all of them are on 42. Because only if all of them are on 42, the average of all 9 would have been 42 only. But they're also saying the highest 9 is 47. The average of the highest 9 scores is 47. So this value, the last number, cannot be 42 because you also want the 9 numbers average to become 47. This number can also not be 47. This number can also not be 47 because you want the average of the last 9. Let's have a look at the next question. It's an easy question, but you should know some basic applications to solve this question. The question says, the number of pairs of integers of x and y satisfying x is more than y more than or equal to minus 20 and 2x plus 5y is equal to 99 is how much? You want to find the number of possible pairs of x and y. The main equation in this question is basically 2x plus 5y is equal to 99. And obviously, the question is about how many such pairs are possible for this expression of x and y. It's not one solution, there are multiple solutions. And possibly there are many solutions which are possible. And that's why they have given you a range. X is more than or equal to y is more than or equal to minus 20. That's the range for which we have to find out. Let's find out the first positive number on which 2x plus 5y will be equal to 99. How do you solve? You basically start putting the values of x as 1, 2, 3, so on and so forth. Okay. Now, on putting x to be as 1, obviously y will not be an integer. The first value of x on which y will be an integer will be a value 2. When x is 2, 5y will become 95 and y will become 9. Let's take the next question, which is on logs. The question is, find the value of log a by b to the base a, log b by a to the base b, where a is more than 1 and b is more than or equal to b, cannot be equal to what? So the question is, find the value of this log expression. Okay, let's try to solve this. Now log a by b will look like what? This will be log a to the base a minus log b to the base a, plus on the left side, right side, you have got log b to the base b minus log a to the base b. That's what I have. Okay. Now log a to the base a, log b to the base b will be 1 and 1. So 1 plus 1 will come out to be as 2. Taking minus as common, the left out expression will be log b to the base a plus log. Let's have a look at the next question. It's a wonderful question on AP and GP, on GP itself. The question says, let the m term and the n term of a GP will be 3 by 4 and 12 respectively. The m term is 3 by 4, the n term is given to you as 12, where obviously m is less than n. If the common ratio of the progression of an integer, the common ratio is r, then what is the smallest value of r plus n minus m? Now n minus m is basically the difference in the terms of m minus n. If m is the first term, n is the second term, then it's 2 minus 1, which is 1. Okay. And the question is, you have to minimize this. So 1, the difference in number of terms should be minimum and the common ratio also has to be minimum. The minimum common. Let's take the next question. The question says, if x and y are the positive real numbers satisfying x plus y is equal to 102, then the minimum possible value of 2601 into 1 plus 1 by x plus 1 plus 1 by y is equal to what? You all know the logic. If a plus b has been given to you and if you want to minimize the value of x into y, then take x and y as close as possible, as equal as possible. Let's have a look at the next question. The question says, for the same principal amount, the compound interest for 2 years at 5% per annum exceeds the simple interest for 3 years at 3% per annum by 1125. The question for you is, find the principal amount in rupees. The question for you is, find the principal amount in rupees. For the same principal amount, the compound interest for 2 years at 5% per annum. Okay. So on one side, I have got a compound interest of 5% for 2 years, which will become 1.05. Let's see the next question. The question says, for a real possible value x, the maximum possible value of this expression, which is x divided by root of 1 plus x raised to 4 is what? Okay. I'm going to put three simple assumptions. I can put x to be equal to 1. I can put x to be more than 1, x to be as less than 1. And then you possibly will see, where do you see the maximum value coming up? Accordingly, you can possibly see the range of values which can be considered for x. If I assume the value of x to be as 1, this will be as simple as 1 upon 1 plus 1, which is 1 by root 2. This is the case when x is equal to 1. Let's take a good question, which is simple and bit applicative question on profit and loss. Read the question well. The question says, Anil buys 12 toys and labels each of them with the same selling price. He sells 8 toys initially at 20% discount on the labeled price, which is my mark price. And then he sells the remaining 4 toys at an additional 25% discount on the discounted price. Thus, he gets a total of 2112 rupees and makes a profit of 10%. The question is, what is his profit percentage without the discount? Okay. If I assume the overall selling price or the mark price, what he has kept is x rupees. So my total cost selling price would have been how much? Would have been 12x. Let me term this to be as mark price. It's going to be good for your understanding. So my total mark price. Let's take the next question. The question says if x and y are non-negative integers, which is 0 and beyond, and x plus 9 is equal to z, y plus 1 is equal to z, and x plus y is less than z plus 5. Though a lot of things have been given to you in terms of variable, but take it step by step. Very easily you'll be able to solve the question. The question is find a maximum value of 2x plus y. So on one side I've got x plus 9 is equal to z, which means x should be equal to z minus 9. Next I've got y plus 1 is equal to z, which means y should be equal to z minus 9. Now let's take the next question, which is come on Venn diagrams. The question says, students in the college have to choose at least 2 subjects from chemistry, math and physics. The number of students choosing all the 3 subjects is 18. Number of students who are choosing math as one of the subject is 23. Choosing physics as one of the subject is 25. The smallest number of students who can choose chemistry as one of the subject is what? Let's put this as chemistry. On one side, let's put this as math, and let's put this as physics. Number of people or elements which will be having at least 2 subjects together, let's put this as A, B and C. And all 3 of them, let's put as D. So what is being given to me? D has been given to me as 18. Now let's also consider C, only M and only P as X, Y and Z. The question which is being given, let's say the next question on functions. The question says let f of x is equal to x squared plus ax plus b, and g of x has been given to you as f of x plus 1 minus f of x minus 1. For all the f of x function to be more than 0, g of 20 has been given to you as 72. The question is find the minimum possible value of b. The question then has been given to you is find the minimum possible range or value of b. Let's start with g of x. What has been given to me? G of x has been given to you as f of x plus 1 minus f of x minus 1. Substituting the value of f of x as x squared plus ax plus b, g of x will look like what? G of x will then become x plus 1 the whole square plus a times x plus 1 plus b. Let's take the next question. Easy question on time, speed and distance. The question says the distance between b to c is thrice the distance of a to b. 2 trains travel from A to C via B. The speed of 2 trains, T2, is double to that of T1. By traveling from A to B, their speeds are interchanged from B to C. The ratio of time taken by T1 by T2 to cover the whole distance from A to C is what? So my overall distance is basically A to C via B. Let's say this is B. The overall distance, let's say if this is X, this will be as simple as 3x. Now they're saying there are 2 trains, T1 and T2. Okay. The original ratio of T1 and T2 from A to B. So T2. Let's have a look at the next question. The question says the sum of perimeter of an equilateral triangle and that of a rectangle has been given to you as 90 centimeter. The area T of a triangle and R of a rectangle have a relationship which is R is equal to T squared. If the sides of a rectangle are in the ratio of 1:3, then the length of the longer side of the rectangle has been asked to me. Let's assume the side of the equilateral triangle has been given to you as S. So this will become 3S. Okay. And my rectangle is basically 2 times, perimeter will be 2 times L plus B. Has been given to me as 90. But it has also been given to me the ratio of length of and breadth of a rectangle is 1:3. So if L is A, B will be 3A. So if we resolve this, this will become 3 times S plus 3 plus 1, 4 into 2, 8A has been given to you as 90. This has been given to me. Now let's come to the square relationship. Area for triangle will be how much? The area for triangle will be root 3 by 4 A square. And the area of a rectangle will be L into B. Let's have a look at the next question. Read the question well. The question says the number of integral solutions that can satisfy the equality x squared minus 5x plus 7 raised to x plus 1 is equal to 1. And these are the typical standard questions which you can expect coming up on establishing the equalities or the inequalities coming up in the CAT examination. So if you rewrite the whole expression, how it's going to look like? It's going to look like x squared minus 5x plus 7. Let's have a look at the next question of time, speed and distance. The question says, two circular tracks T1 and T2 of radii 100 meter and 20 meter respectively touch at a point O. Starting from A at the same point, Ram and Rahim walking on the tracks T1 and T2 respectively at a speed of 15 kmph and 5 kmph. The number of full rounds Ram will be able to make before he meets Rahim at the starting point. Good question. Let's start with finding the length of T1 and the length of T2, which is basically my circumference in the ratio of 2 pi r1 by 2 pi r2. This will become 2 into 3.14 into 100. With this value will come out to be a 628. Next is 2 into 3. Let's look at the next question again on time, speed and distance. The question said, A and B are 2 points on a straight line. Let's say the line is basically AB. Ram runs from A to B and Rahim runs from B to A. So they are moving in the opposite direction. After crossing each other, Ram and Rahim reaches their respective destination in 1 minute and 4 minutes. If they start at the same time, then the ratio of speed of Ram to Rahim is what is the question. So let's say this is the meeting point, which is O. Okay. So, and this is the meeting point. The time taken by Ram to cover A to O should be as same as the time taken by Rahim from B to O. So this is my original time taken to meet both of them at the meeting point. After crossing, let's take a good question which came on geometry. Very easily you'll be able to solve this question well. The question says, let C1 and C2 be the concentric circles, as what you can see in the figure, such that the diameter of C1 is 2 centimeter longer than that of C2. So this is C1 and this is C2. If the diameter is 2 centimeter longer, then the radius will basically be 1 centimeter longer to that of C2. A chord C1 has a length of 6 centimeter. This is the chord that we have, which you have in the diagram, is 6 centimeter. Let's take the next question which came on time and work. Read the question well. John takes twice as much time as Jack to finish the job. Jack and Jim together takes 1/3 of the time taken to finish the job than John takes working alone. So there are 3 guys, John, Jack and Jim. Moreover, in order to finish the job, John takes 3 days more than the time taken by all 3 of them working alone. Okay, so difference in number of days taken by John and all 3 of them working together will be 3 days. In how many days? The question is about Jim will be able to complete the job if he is working alone. Let's start with the first instance what they're talking about. So they're talking about John and Jack. So we have got John and we have got Jack. So the ratio is 2:1. So if I assume Jack to be taking X days, John certainly will take 2x days. Now we have got a third guy coming in, which is basically Jin. Let's assume Jin is taking Y days. Now we have to combine Jack and Jin together. Jack and Jim together. So Jack and Jim together. Have a look at the next question. The question says, in May, John bought same amount of rice and same amount of wheat as what he has purchased in April, but spent 150 rupees more due to the price increase on the rice and wheat by 20% on rice and 12% on wheat respectively. If John spent 450 rupees on rice on April, what is the amount he spent on wheat in May? So let's start with April. What happened in April? I got some rice, I got some wheat. Let's say this is a quantity of rice and wheat that I've got. Okay. Suddenly you also would have to calculate the total amount that you have to, which has been purchased. Let's assume X is the price per piece for rice and Y is the price. Let's have a look at the next question. The question says, Aaron bought some pencils and sharpener. Spending the same amount of money as that of Aaron, Aditya bought twice as many pencils and 10 less sharpeners. If the cost of one sharpener is 2 rupees more than that of pencil, then the minimum possible number of pencils bought by Aaron and Aditya together is how much? So let's take both the instances. You've got Aaron, you have also got Aditya. Let's start with pricing of, you've got pencil and you've got sharpener. Assuming the pencil to be as X, sharpener has to be X minus 2. Now if I assume Aaron has got X pencils, Aditya might have got 2X pencils. Let's take the next question, which is a very easy question. I'm sure all of you will be able to solve it well, quickly. The question says the sum of money is split between Amal, Sunil and Meeta, so that the ratio of share of Amal and Sunil is 3:2. And the ratio of share of Sunil to Meeta is 4:5. If the difference between the largest and the smallest of the share is rupees 400, find Sunil's share. Easy question. There are three guys. Let's take the first ratio, which is A versus S. Let's take the next question on permutation combination. The question says how many 4-digit numbers, each greater than 1000, and each having all the 4 distinct digits, where 7 is going to come before 3, can be found. So the 4-digit number has to have 7 and 3, two places. So we are talking about 4-digit number, okay, and we are talking about all those cases where 7 in terms of place value has to be before 3. Now 7 has to be before 3. Let's start with the cases where 7 is on position number 1. Let's say this is position number 1, 2, 3 and 4. So if 7 is on position number 1, it's going to be like one of the possible case will be 7, 3, and the next two cases could be A and B. The last two digits which I have to figure out how many cases are possible. Similarly, I can have the first position as 7, then 3 can come here, and then A and B can be at the respective position. And the last possible case would be 7 here, A, B in between, and you've got 3 here. There are 3 possible cases like this. This is instance 1 where the thousands place has been taken by 7. Let's take instance 2 where the hundreds place has been taken by 7. It's again a 4-digit number, but 7 is going to come here. So one possible case will be 7, 3 in between,